Coming up on News 11. On Saturday, a stabbing occurred at a popular bar in downtown Fredonia, and police are looking for further information. Elon Musk has finalized his $44 billion acquisition of Twitter, and a new taste testing job in Texas has some delicious benefits. These stories and more, News 11 starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to News 11. I am Sarah Gorton.
And I'm Hunter Halterman.
So Hunter, this is our very first time officially anchoring News 11. How do you feel right now?
I am very nervous.
I am a little bit too. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We got this. So, onto our first story. This past Saturday, April 24th, a stabbing occurred at Sonny's Bar in Fredonia. The incident received multiple 911 calls, which led police to respond to the scene. When officers arrived, they saw a large group of people exiting the bar. Bystanders were yelling that two people had been stabbed. Two victims were located by officers and they were attended to by Fredonia Fire and Rescue. One of the victims refused medical attention and was said by police to have released himself from the hospital with minimal injuries. The second victim was treated for stab wounds received in a violent altercation that took place inside of Sonny's Bar at the dance floor. The police say that the second victim has since been treated for their injuries and has been released with injuries that are deemed non-life-threatening. The stabbing incident is still under investigation, and the Fredonia police are requesting that anyone with information relevant to the stabbing to contact the Fredonia Police Department at 716-679-1531.
On Tuesday afternoon at Elba, a Mercy Flight helicopter crashed, killing 2 people on board. The crash occurred around 1 p.m., 10 minutes outside the city of Batavia. Officials say that the helicopter was on a training exercise. Mercy Flight identified the pilot to be James Sawyer of Churchville, New York, and the other passenger was Stuart Dietrich of Prosper, Texas. Both men were 60 years old. The Mercy Flight president, Margaret Ferrantino, said that, quote, "It goes without saying that our attention needs to be focused on the families of those lost and our own employees as we deal with this unspeakable tragedy," end quote. Officials say that the crash took down some power lines, but they are not believed to be the cause of the crash. The NTSB arrived on the scene yesterday and are expected to be on the scene for the next 3 to 5 days.
SUNY Fredonia's afternoon commencement speaker has been announced. New York State Senator George Borrello will give the keynote address at the 3 p.m. commencement at SUNY Fredonia on Saturday, May 21st in Steele Hall. Borrello's experience as a small business owner allows him to better understand tax issues, which he has sought to fix in his senator position. He served 8 years as a Chautauqua County legislator pursuing projects to promote tourism, improve infrastructure, and downsize government and clean up rundown properties. Borrello was a graduate of Fredonia High School and attended Purdue University.
The Chautauqua County Fair is set to return this year. It'll be running from Tuesday, July 19th to Sunday, July 24th. There will also be a demolition derby, classic fair food, and amusement park rides will also be returning. County Executive P.J. Wendell said he's excited to see the event return, adding, quote, "People lose sight of what actually the fair is all about. That's really one of these last bastions of Americana that continue. That these are things that will have gone on since the 1800s, relatively small, but the basic premise of the county fair is still there with the kids, 4-H, and agriculture. Tickets will go on sale in mid-June."
Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz announced a temporary solution that may lead to relief at the gas pump for Western New Yorkers. According to Poloncarz, the resolution is to temporarily cap the county's tax on gas at $2 per gallon, starting June 1st until February of 2023. The Erie County Office of Consumer Protection would monitor prices to ensure that the savings are passed to motorists. New York State is allowing individual counties to decide if they want to follow suit. Niagara County became the first in Western New York to do so, with their cap at $3 per gallon. The Chautauqua County Legislature will be meeting Wednesday to discuss and vote on the matter.
A Buffalo woman is facing felony charges as she is being accused of stamping City of Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown's name on multiple number of ballots. Lou Pina has been accused of unlawful use of pasters upon ballot and an unspecified violation of election law. According to prosecutors, Pina stamped the mayor's name on numerous ballots on the past election day. Officials say Pina was working at the polling location inside Bell Center on Maryland Street in the city. Mayor Brown was running as a write-in candidate after he lost the Democratic primary to his opponent, India Walton. This led to voters either needing to write or stamp down his name using a stamp that was handed out as a part of his write-in campaign. Brown ended up winning the vote by more than 10,000 votes, and this event does not take away from the win. After her arraignment, Pina was released on her own recognizance. She'll be back on court May 16th. If she's convicted, Pina could spend up to 4 years in prison.
The Buffalo Fire Department has made history after announcing that they are promoting a woman to division chief. Buffalo native Wendy Maytika Hartman will be the first woman to hold the position and has risen through the ranks since starting with the unit in 1998. Hartman is the daughter and sister of Buffalo firefighters and is married to BFD Chief Stephen Hartman. Since becoming battalion chief 4 years ago, she had multiple accomplishments, including serving in leadership roles at numerous fire department academies and commanded several technical rescue teams.
50 people are going to get free KFC for a year thanks to a giveaway from a new location in North Buffalo. The location opened at 10:30 in the morning on Tuesday, and the first 50 people got coupons for 52 free meals. They have the option to redeem them all in 1 week or stretch them out over the year. The first person, Joe Karan, wanted to be at the doors, waited by the doors for over 10 hours. He says, quote, "I came by and there was nobody here, so I went home and my wife's telling me, 'Don't you go back, it's pouring rain.' And I said, 'No, I'm going back, it's a challenge,'" end quote. The next 2 people came around 5 a.m. and people started filling out the line soon after.
Andrew Cuomo, New York's previous governor, worked towards and pushed for, quote, green energy, end quote. During his time in office back in 2015, Cuomo invested $5 million through the state and had manufacturers, consultants, and installers put in 5 wind turbines in hopes of creating power through the thruway facilities. With the turbines only beginning to see a turnaround after 15 years, things weren't working out the way they were planned. After just a few years, there had been several faulty turbines, and because of this, New York State Authority is suing the manufacturers, installers, and consultants involved. This past week, Supreme Court Justice Richard M. Plotkin dismissed the case. Although there was failure for the workers to do the proper research before moving forward with the project, it wasn't their fault as to why the turbines fell short on its goals. And when we come back, Elon Musk officially purchases Twitter and more national headlines. We'll be right back.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Elon Musk has bought Twitter for more than $40 billion. In his plans for the future of Twitter, he wants to make it more transparent to users and have lighter content in moderation in hopes of achieving more free speech. In a tweet Musk shared on April 25th, he said, quote, "Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated," end quote. In another tweet, Musk explains what he means by expanding free speech on Twitter by saying, quote, "By free speech, I simply mean that which matches the law. I am against censorship, and that goes far beyond the law," end quote. This news hasn't come as easy to some policymakers, however, and has received negative feedback from the European Union, who are enacting the Digital Services Act. Under this act, there will be stronger standards for content moderation regarding illegal content and speech which threatens universal priorities such as health. This act has not yet been passed, but has received support from the European Commission, the Parliament, and EU member states.
For the first time, President Joe Biden plans to use his clemency powers to commute the sentences of more than 75 nonviolent drug offenders. At the White House Tuesday, Biden will also issue full pardons to 3 individuals. One of those pardons includes the first black Secret Service agent to work on the presidential detail. Witnesses in the case of Abraham Bolden Sr. later admitted to the lying about the sale of secret file. The Biden administration is also marking Second Chance Month by unveiling new initiatives to help ease the transition back to normal life for the formerly incarcerated.
A new bill that will require convicted drunk drivers to pay child support to minors in Tennessee is headed to the governor's desk. According to the bill, drivers convicted of vehicular homicide, intoxication, or aggravated homicide would be ordered by a court to pay child support if the victim was a parent of a child who is under the age of 18 or who hasn't yet graduated high school. The bill passed unanimously in State House and Senate, leaving it up to the court to determine the appropriate amount of money convicted drunk drivers would have to pay. Drivers who are incarcerated and unable to make payments have up to 1 year after their release to begin payment. However, the bill also states that if the child's surviving parent or guardian sues the defendant and obtains a judgment before the sentencing court, no child support payments will be ordered.
Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill Tuesday prohibiting the use of non-binary gender markers on state birth certificates. A ban experts say is the first of its kind in the nation. Stitt's appointee to lead the agency abruptly resigned the next day, and the governor then promptly issued an executive order prohibiting any changes to a person's gender on birth certificates, despite a settlement agreement. A civil rights group has challenged the executive order in federal court, but the state has not yet responded. Oklahoma Representative Sheila Dills said, quote, "People are free to believe whatever they want about their identity, but science has determined people are either biologically male or female at birth," end quote. The bill followed a flap last year over the Oklahoma State Department of Health's agreement in a civil case allowing the non-binary option. Oklahoma City Democrat Representative Marie Turner tweeted, quote, "I find it very extreme and grotesque use of power in this body to write this law and try to pass it when literally none of them live like us," end quote.
Nakia Dodd, mother of 14-year-old Tyre Sampson, said Tuesday during a news conference in St. Louis that she felt helpless learning about her boy's deadly plunge on March 24th from the freefall attraction at Icon Park. Now, the parents of the Missouri teenager say the purpose of a wrongful death lawsuit filed Monday is to, quote, "make change." Tyre, who was 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed about 380 pounds before his death, slipped through the gap between the harness and the seat, according to a state report. Sampson weighed about 100 pounds above the weight limit for the ride, and the suit said the ride operator, quote, negligently adjusted restraint systems on the freefall ride, failed to train their employees, and failed to provide a safe amusement park ride, end quote. During the media briefing in St. Louis, Dodd's attorney, Michael Haggard, had said a seatbelt would have saved Tyre's life, who was only in 8th grade. Haggard had said, unlike similar rides, freefall only had an over-the-shoulder harness to secure riders. It has been said that manual adjustments had been made to the sensor for the seat in question that allowed the harness to restraint opening to be almost double that of the normal restraint opening range.
During the ongoing lawsuit between Johnny Depp and ex-wife Amber Heard, on Tuesday, a forensic psychologist testified that Heard suffers from historic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. The case continues as Depp is suing Heard for defamation by implication and libel after an op-ed piece she wrote for the Washington Post makes implications that she is a victim of domestic abuse. Shannon Curry, the psychologist testifying, said that Heard does not suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, the way she had previously stated. She came to these conclusions and diagnosis after a 12-hour session with Heard. According to Curry, Heard is, quote, driven by an underlying fear of abandonment, end quote, and also stating that Heard's disorder, quote, will make desperate attempts to prevent that from happening, end quote. Borderline personality disorder, or BPD, can cause women to become predictive for implementing domestic violence against a partner. The libel suit against Heard surrounds the way she wrote about Depp in her Washington Post piece. Heard claimed that Depp would often get very drunk and high and sexually abuse her. Heard has also claimed on several occasions that Depp has left marks on her. But everyone has testified otherwise. And when we come back, Trevor Howard joins us for our weekly sports update, and we'll hear our weather update from Chloe Kowalik. We'll be right back.
To Sofia and Gabriel, mis flores, my little flowers. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love, so you can take me with you wherever you go, near or far. These stitches and threads join us together. Me, your mother, and both of you. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you as you bring our colorful stories to the world.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
We are now joined by Trevor Howard for a sports update. So what do you have for us, Trevor?
A lot of good stuff, but in local sports this week, the Blue Devils softball team is currently skidding on a 4-game losing streak after a big doubleheader sweep win over Brockport on Friday, April 22nd. Despite the 4 losses, Allie Wandell, Alyssa Paniewski, and Megan Geardy have been consistently crossing the plate and scoring runs for the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils softball team currently sits at 11-23 overall, but are still contenders in the SUNYAC division with the record of 6-7 in the conference and a 5-1 home record. Their last 4 games take place at home this Friday and Saturday as they take on Plattsburgh and Potsdam in their respective doubleheaders. Buffalo Sabres are really turning their game around despite being mathematically out of the playoff contention. They are currently on a 4-game winning streak, just coming off of a weekend where they defeated the New Jersey Devils 5-2 and the New York Islanders 5-3. Scoring 10 goals in their last 2 games, credit has to be given to players such as Owen Power, who scored his first career NHL goal, Rasmus Dahlin, Jeff Skinner, Alex Tuch, Tage Thompson, Casey Middlestat, and Vinny Hinostroza. The Buffalo Sabres are currently in Boston taking on the Bruins and will host the Chicago Blackhawks for longtime Sabres broadcast voice Rick Jeanneret's final play-by-play call for the Buffalo Sabres tomorrow at 7 p.m. Sabres fans expect this game to be a complete sellout of 19,070 seats in the KeyBank Center and a very emotional night for Rick Jeanneret and his family. The NBA playoffs are in full effect as the Boston Celtics have already punched their ticket to the semifinals with a big quarterfinal sweep over the Brooklyn Nets. Boston will go into the semis as the 2nd seed facing against the winner of the Bucks-Bulls series. The Miami Heat have also defeated the Atlanta Hawks in 5 games and will play the winner of the Raptors-Sixers series. Out west, the Phoenix Suns, despite losing Devontae Booker, they have a 3-2 series lead over the New Orleans Pelicans and are looking to win their first title in franchise history and hoping to bounce back after their crushing loss in the finals last year versus Milwaukee. The MLB season has taken off since the end of the lockout, in the middle of March. Longtime Detroit Tigers first baseman Miguel Cabrera joined the 3,000 club as he recorded his 3,000th career hit last week in the first inning versus the Colorado Rockies. The New York Yankees their world-famous letter has been released to the public in which the Yankees were found to be illegally stealing signs in the 2015 and 2016 seasons using a dugout phone, the replay room, and a runner at second. No players have publicly said anything to the press on the matter, and the Yankees have been fined $100,000. The Toronto Blue Jays seem to be the team to beat in the American League, as the core three in Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Bo Bichette, and George Springer have been tearing the cover off of the baseball, each respectively batting with a batting average of over 250 and currently lead the top of the AL East with a 13-6 season record. So, if that's not a lot of information for me to give you,
yeah, you
I
brought
really don't
the
know what
sports
is.
tonight, and I gotta say, I definitely wish I was going to RJ night. It
Me
would be
too.
a good one.
Oh, I wish I was going to that game for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great one. So, all right, Chloe, what do you have for the weather for us?
Hi guys, it's great to be back on weather after a very long semester of sitting on desk. Trust me, it was getting very old. But luckily for you all, I'll be able to give you a positive weather forecast, unlike whenever Hunter is over on this side of the studio. Tonight we'll see some chilly temperatures dipping into the high 30s. However, the sun is setting much later tonight at around 8:13 p.m. and we're looking at clear skies tonight. So overall, not a terrible spring night after all those ugly snowflakes yesterday. Tomorrow will be sunny and a high of 53 degrees, and the low tomorrow will be 33 degrees, but Friday is setting us up for a warmer weekend. I'll be back with your weekend weather updates. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Chloe. And when we come back, we're going to take a look at your What's Trending segment. We'll be back.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Kane Tamaka, the world's oldest person, has died at the age of 119, just months before reaching her goal of 120. Takana died of old age on April 19th in a hospital in her hometown in southern Japan. Takana was known for her love of chocolate, fizzy drinks, and the board game Othello. Governor Hattori said he was, quote, shocked and saddened by her loss, end quote, and that, quote, she gave the people hope for a healthy, long life, end quote. The world's oldest human now, Lucille Randon, a French nun who is 118 years old.
Are you the type of person who likes to fix things yourself? Well, Apple is making it a little easier for you. The tech giant has officially opened its online self-service repair shop that sells parts for people looking to fix their own iPhones. Some of the parts and tools it will offer are iPhone screws, cameras, batteries, and more. Previously, customers had to use the company's in-house repair service or other authorized outposts. This new store comes after pressure from the Right to Repair movement. They've been pressing lawmakers and tech companies to give consumers the option to fix their own devices themselves. In July, President Joe Biden passed an executive order directing the Federal Trade Commission to issue rules requiring companies to allow DIY repairs. Last month, Samsung announced a similar program that allows some users to repair their own devices starting this summer.
Have you ever wanted to get paid to eat tacos? Seriously, it's a job. The chief taco officer for Favor Delivery, an on-demand delivery service in Texas, will get paid $10,000 to travel around the Lone Star State this summer, taste testing tacos and telling people all about it. Joe perks include, well, obviously lots of tacos, along with other free food, accommodations, and transport in each city, not to mention massages and yoga classes, plus free Favor Delivery for a year. Besides being a taco lover, anyone who applies has to live in Texas, be at least 21, and send in a short video explaining why they're perfect for the gig.
Hunter, you seem like the kind of person who would really enjoy that job. I think you like your tacos.
I love a pretty good taco. Now, Chloe, you say your weather reports are always better than mine. What do you got for us for the weekend?
All right, well, thank you. So if you have plans on Saturday, I have some really, really good news for you. Saturday will be sunny with a high of 60 and a low of just 37. It'll be warm and sunny, so be sure to go outside and catch some rays. Sunday, however, will be a low of 44 degrees, but a wonderful high of 65. Sunday will be the one day you may want to stay indoors, as there will be a 50% chance of rain in the afternoon. Winds on Sunday will only average about 11 miles per hour, making for a decent weekend. Back to you guys at the desk.
I'm really excited for this weather. I don't know about you. It's starting to look up, so I think it's looking good.
Absolutely.
So that does it for News 11 this week. And as always, thank you so much to our entire crew here at WNYF.
And of course, thank you to everyone that is watching at home. We'll be back next week for our season finale. Have a great night.